Tape in the VCR and you're all set. All right, let's take a look at the chicken because it's all done. Here's your chicken. You can see this is fried to a delicious golden crisp brown in just 12 minutes. If you're on a grease-free, fat-free diet, good for you. This is the only way you should be eating. If you're not, this is the only way you should be eating. Why eat grease? A lot of people say, I like the taste of grease. They just don't know what their food would taste like without it. Now we're going to season the chicken today with a little bit of lemon juice, some sesame seeds, and oregano. This is a gourmet-style recipe given to us by Chef Toe. He's a gourmet cook. He doesn't care too much about the calories on a dish like this. His recipe calls for egg, flour, wine, salt, butter, heavy cream. I've watched him, and I'll tell you, sometimes the wine doesn't make it into the recipe. But the bottom line is it's about 1,000 calories for a chicken or so. And I'll tell you, something like this, only 150 calories for 2 split breasts. Plus, it's only 7 grams of fat. If you've ever been out to a fast food restaurant, a Big Mac or quarter pounder with cheese is about 50 grams of fat. So you could actually eat 7 of these and get the same fat intake, to give you an idea of the health level that this cookware promotes. Now let's say you make a mistake and you accidentally burn up one of your pots. Don't get shook up. This is the good stuff. How would you normally have to clean something like this? Brillo, soak it, belt sanders, everything. I had one 9-year-old girl said I'd hide it. That's my favorite. Here's something you don't want to do. Don't go home today and pour cold water in a hot pan because we're doing it at our show. If you pour cold water in a hot pan, it's metal. What happens to the metal? It warps. Healthcraft is guaranteed forever not to warp or buckle, pitch, chip, corrode, or ever wear out. If anything happens to this, there's a phone number on every one of the pans for customer service. You give us a call, we replace it. It's real simple. Now, according to Family Circle magazine, the average family in America spends about $3 grand a year eating out. Sound like a lot of money? $50 a week. You go to one restaurant, it's over. See, the reason we eat out is not because the food tastes better, right? Who likes a home-cooked meal? Yeah, everybody does. Funny thing is, you ask an adult, where you want to eat tonight, what do they say? At home. Ask a kid where they want to eat, what do they tell you? McDonald's. Uh-oh. Somebody's doing some good advertising. Point is, we go to places like that because we don't want to clean the pots and we don't want to do the work. Well, you see how hard this is to do so far, right? The cleanup is just as easy. You can wipe this out with a paper towel. It's completely immersible, too, so if you don't want to do this much work, this electric skillet can go in your dishwasher. One of the only electric skillets on the market that is actually dishwasher safe, completely immersible in water. It's UL listed and American made, guaranteed forever. Let's take a look at the vegetables. Richard Simmons was very impressed with our method of cooking. He said the vegetables look like they're still alive when they came out of the pan. This might be the first time that you've seen live food after it's been cooked. See the beautiful color of the food? Cooked without water, food retains its color, nutrients, and taste. Good examples in the cabbage. See how that green cabbage is still green? The red cabbage is still red too. Got all this color. And the broccoli's nice and green. It's not all washed out. Corn on the cob is delicious and sweet this way. Now, what's the first 2 things we usually put on our corn? Butter and salt. What's the first 2 things the doctor says you can't have? Butter and salt. So what do? Not eat corn or ignore the doctor? Ignore the doctor. That's where all the problems start. You try that corn after the show, you won't put any butter or salt on it. It tastes great the way it is. Baked potatoes take about 15 minutes, flaky and done on top of the stove. One guy said, so what? Throw it in the microwave, cooks in 5 minutes. I said, sure, what's it taste like? He said, not much, but it's cooked. You ever cook in a microwave? Anybody like to taste the microwave cooking? Anybody? Nobody. And you only do it because they're fast. If they weren't fast, we throw them out. I got one at home I called a $200 clock. At least I know what time it is. Here's your carrots, nice and tender and sweet. Called candy carrots because the kids like them. Some parents are funny. They'll watch their kids eat these vegetables. They say, they don't eat those at my house. You might want to put 2 and 2 together on that one. How much water did I use here today? None. No stick, no burn or scorch. Hot soapy water is all you need to get the pans clean. I don't have any running water here at the shows. We clean up with a bucket and paper towels. It's real simple and easy. All right, let's take a look at the cake and we'll be all done. When you bake a cake in this cookware, you want to let the cake cool off a few minutes. That's what we've done here. Take about 5 minutes to cool the cake down. You can pop the cake out. We bake this cake for a lot of reasons. Primary reason we bake the cake is to show you how nice and golden brown the cake gets all the way around the pan in 15 minutes. You bake this in the oven, it's 45 minutes. A lot of energy wasted. And our cookware is easy to clean. Just soap and water is all you need. There's your entire meal. You got fried chicken, baked potato, corn on the cob, broccoli, red and green cabbage, carrots, a harvest salad, potato chips, and a lemon zest cake all made right before your eyes in about 15 minutes. How about a nice hand for that meal? What do you think? You can do the same thing. It's easy to do. Eat a healthy meal like this every day, you live a long, healthy life. Look at me. I'm 67. Inches tall. Anyway, I'm going to cut up the food for you. Give it one more taste. I was doing a show one time. I'll tell you a little something that happened to me a long time ago. Doing a show one time, and this lady came up to me. She said, I want to get a set of this cookware. I said, well, you come to the right place. I said, but you should watch one of the shows. They're very educational. They'll tell you everything you need to know. She said, I already saw your show last year. I don't have to sit through another one, do I? I said, no, ma'am, thanks for the compliment, but I'm just curious. If you saw the show last year, why didn't you just get a set last year? She said, oh, I couldn't get it last year. I had my husband with me. Yeah, her husband said this was a sales pitch. Nobody's going to sell him anything. Well, everything's for sale, isn't it? You can spend a lot of money here today. Some things you might use. Some things you probably won't use. This cookware is something that if you invest in this today, you'll never have to buy it again, ever. And I really can't think of too many things in life you can say that about. We buy nice homes, nice cars all the time, and not have to rebuy them. The funny thing about this, you have it the rest of your life. We cook or buy a few meals a day for the rest of our lives. Figure out how many times you use it, it's thousands and thousands of times. And this stuff is literally pennies a day to own. So, but when it comes to health, well-being, and nutrition, things like that are important too. But when do most Americans care about their health? As soon as they get sick. That's a shame because sometimes there's damage done. I asked the lady, I said, well, what happened? What brought you back here to get a set of this? Your husband thinks it's a sales pitch. She said, well, he's the reason I came back. I said, what happened? She said, well, about 6 months ago, she said, my husband suffered some heart problems. The doctor says he can't have any more greasy food, no butter, and no salt. Now, if you have a heart weight or stomach problem, you're diabetic, you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, what's the doctor usually say about greasy food, butter, and salt? Got to go, right? Why not make a decision today your body can live with? I asked the lady how he was feeling. She said he feels a lot better. He just hates the way his food tastes. Every time I feed him, he says it tastes like wet cardboard because he can't put anything on it anymore. She used to use a lot of lubricants and stuff that she can't use anymore. And no butter, no salt, of course. She said they were sitting around watching TV and they saw us on The Price is Right. Bob Barker's giving away a set of Healthcraft cookware. She said, look at that. He said, yeah, there's those pots I wanted to buy you last year. Now it's his idea. He gave her the credit card, said, go on down there and get a set of that cookware. It makes the food taste better for both of us. Funny thing is, I guess when it comes to his taste buds, this ain't a sales pitch anymore. You know, folks, if you're not impressed with what you've seen here today, I doubt you'll be more impressed next week, next month, or next year. We'll put out the fine silverware. You can taste the food, feel the weight of the pans. Afterwards, if you'd like to know more about the cookware and how to get some nice free items here at the show, have a seat in front of the white handle set. I'll run through the show specials and show you how to get it. You're all intelligent people. We can't sell it to you. All we can do is show it to you. Those of you who have the wisdom to invest in this cookware, you'll be back next year to thank us for it. This is the very end of the cooking show. I'd like to thank everybody for watching here today. If you do me one final favor, if you're seated, could you please stand up? All rise. It's like court. While you're standing, go like this. Yeah, I like to end it with a standing ovation. Thanks for coming. See you next time in better health.